There's so many exciting things we can do to enhance the marketing of your property using artificial intelligence. So what can we do? Well, number one, we can improve on the way your property is displayed on the internet. We know, for example, that 95% of all buyers start their home buying process by looking on the internet. And typically that process starts 3 to 6 months before they actually pull the trigger and get into contract or close on a property. So when we take videos, when we take 3D representations using Matterport of your property, AI tracks what the buyers are looking at. For example, are they looking at the pool in your backyard? Are they looking at your back screened-in porch? Are they looking at the proximity of one bedroom to the family room or one bedroom to the living room? AI learns from itself. It keeps track of that data so that if we need to reorder the photographs, we can reorder the photographs. But something I particularly like, especially with regards to the 3D marketing of your property, and Matterport allows the buyer to come into your house. It gives them places to stand in the house. They can look up into the ceiling. They can look at the crown molding. They can look down at the floor. They can look around 360 degrees. The normal presentation of a house is you come into the front door and you tour the house as if you were walking in the house. But suppose you have 120 showings of that property using 3D marketing, and you find that 80% of your people spend most of their time in the kitchen, or 70% of the people spend most of their time in the primary bath. AI has the ability to change the configuration of the tour. So instead of starting at the front door, you might start at the kitchen. Or if you start at the kitchen, you could secondarily go to the primary bath. It's remarkable data. We learn from how the consumer behaves looking at our listing, and we retarget that to additional buyers. So let's talk about retargeting using AI. In the old days, when Google came out, and especially female friends of mine, they would buy a pair of shoes. Let's say they were looking at buying a pair of Papagallos. Very nice shoe for women. So they'd bring it up on their screen and they'd go and do something else. They'd check their email, they'd come back and they'd look at Nova Southeastern University, or they'd look at the Master Chorale site. But oddly enough, on the right-hand side of that screen, there would be that same pair of Papagallos that they'd previously looked at. That's retargeting. Same thing happens when someone's looking at your house. You're on Google, or you're on Bing, or you're on whatever search engine you use, and the algorithm creates a hook so that as you continue to do your other business searches, free time, pleasure, whatever, it's bringing back your house because they spent the most time looking at your property. So again, using AI and using it well plants the hook to bring the buyer back to your property. So clearly, when we do videos, when we do professional photography, when we do three-dimensional representations of your house and your floor plan, we have to do it well so that we can get the hook and get your house to follow them around on the internet. So those are some examples of using marketing with regards to using AI. But there's actually even more. We can now capture zip code data as far as where that buyer is coming from, so that we could retarget back into that zip code. That's not a bad deal because we still get more eyes on the property, and we're also able to bring a similar type of neighbor who's already purchased in the neighborhood back into that neighborhood. Or we can send it to that buyer who can then send it to their friends. Let's say they're in New York City, and they get to learn more about their friend, neighbor, soon-to-be neighbor, resident in the state of Florida or in Fort Lauderdale. Retargeting using AI is a tremendous tool. We need to rely more on it. We don't need to do more so much as we have to be smarter in what we do, and AI allows us to do that. There's several more examples I could share with you regarding AI and marketing. It is so exciting. It has so much to offer. Make sure when you talk to your realtor, you ask them how they can use AI to market your property. And one of the things I didn't mention yet is that we can even look at where that buyer, what their past buying patterns have been, and incorporate that into our marketing process of selling your home. And that's what we want to do. We want to sell your property at the highest price at the shortest amount of time, because as we continue to see the market right now, more inventory is rising to the market, so you need to stand out. Call me if I can help. My name is Gary Lanham, and I can be reached at 954-695-6518. Thank you.